Hey guys, it's Mr. Mini Painter, and in this tutorial we will be painting Catwoman as she appears in Batman The Long Halloween, and in this case from the Batman Gotham City Chronicles game by Monolith. This version of Selina Kyle has this distinct comic-inspired look. With her sleek purple costume and expressive mask, this miniature offers a striking alternative on the character we all know. And in this guide, I'm going to take you step by step on how to base coat it, to shade it, to highlight it, with the focus on capturing those deep purples and those smooth textures that really define this version of Catwoman. So get your brushes at the ready, it's time to bring the Long Halloween's mysterious Catwoman to life on your tabletop. To start off with, I primed the model in a black primer. She's going to be nice and dark, so black is a good way to start from. Now before we continue, if you like this kind of videos, please consider subscribing to my channel, my YouTube channel and Patreon. Leave a comment please, I'd love to hear from you. Now with this model I'm going to start with Phoenician Purple. She is a mainly purple pinkish looking character. And this might seem a bit bright, but it'll work out in the end, trust me. Don't forget the tail. I really love these Gotham City Chronicles miniatures. They're a lot of fun to paint and they have a very rich color scheme. Well, not all into one miniature of course, but all of them combined make for a colorful pack, which is a lot of fun to do and to watch of course. So when painting the ears, I painted the edge of the ears as well and left the inside black. The tail is going all around the leg. I'll leave the rest nice and black. Next is our first highlight stage, and for that I'm adding some pink horror to the Phoenician purple. And I think I used about a 50-50 mix, but you can start slower if you want, if you think it's too strong. What we're doing here is covering the top part of the body, so all the parts that would catch the most light, so the upper leg, the chest, the arms, the head of course, and leave some nice darker areas in between so you get some beautiful contrast. These colors, they are really working together, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. Don't forget the tail here. And also on the back we are doing the same process. Now what I'm doing first is making kind of a hard outline, so to cover the brightest part of the highlight color I'm using, and afterwards thinning down my paint just a little bit and pulling from the darker areas towards the brighter areas to kind of blend those colors together. So when watering down your paint, be very careful, because if you water it down too much you don't really get a nice result. But you get the idea. So here you see me kind of pulling the paint from the darkest towards the brightest area. Always work in this direction, because otherwise you're gonna create some ugly transitions. You want as little paint as possible on the very end, the darkest area, and the most on the brightest area. If you're not really satisfied with the result, repeat this process maybe 2 or maybe even 3 times. It takes some getting used to, but it's really worth the result in the end. Even though this highlight is very nice, I wanted to add a little more drama to the whole, so I'm adding Screamer Pink into the mix. And I like these bright outsides I painted before, so I'm focusing on the middle part now, as if it were coming from a creepy light source. I think it gives this Catwoman version a little bit more depth. When painting with just a few colors like this model, it's always interesting to find a way to make those colors you are using really pop out. And I think this is working very nice. Once we're done with that, we're going to continue on the face, and for that I'm using a base color of Cadian Flesh Tone. There is just a tiny piece showing below her nose from her chin up. Once dry, I'm washing it with some Wayland Flesh Shade. And after that, I'm painting in the eyes with Palette Witch Flesh. Now I left it only with the whites of the eye, gave it kind of a mysterious look. You can of course paint in a pupil, I didn't do that for this one. Next, highlighting the skin with Chisel Flesh, focusing on the sharp highlights, for example the tip of the nose, the chin, maybe the cheekbones, and the jawline if you want to have a strong jaw. Focus your highlights on the jawline. That's it for the face. With Mechanica Standard Gray I painted some highlights on the black parts of the clothing. I'm a bit out of focus here, sorry about that, but you get the idea. So focus on the top parts of the black areas and follow the natural highlight. Now, next she's wearing some gold rings, which I'm painting with Retributor Armor. These bracelets, or whatever they are, just go all around it. Make sure not to touch the black in the middle in between. That will lose some detail and we don't want that. We're going to highlight those gold pieces with some Canoptic Alloy to add some shine to the top. Then the base. Mechanica Standard Gray I used for the base itself. Then with some Nuln Oil you can slap that on quite heavy. I covered the entire base, so making those cracks reappear. Once that is dry, I'm dry brushing some Administratum Gray on it, and you can kind of stipple it like this, or wipe over it very gently. Make sure to have as little paint as possible on your dry brush. And you can repeat the process if you want with some brighter gray, like a gray seer. And that's it for Catwoman The Long Halloween. I really enjoyed painting this one, even though using only a few colors, the end result is amazing. And I love those purple and pink transitions, and I'm very satisfied with the end result, and I hope you are too. If you like this kind of videos, please consider subscribing or following my Patreon page, and of course I will be making a lot more videos on YouTube as well. So please leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Like the video and consider subscribing to both channels, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Thank you so much for watching, bye bye!